We are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears as we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. I am your host and narrator, Gloom-Pan. I hope you are here to have some fun. I have here with me 3 stories told poetically for you to enjoy and consume. So please feel free to turn up your volume. We are here every Friday to play with spooks and shades to parade their display. So boys and girls, get ready for a journey into our world. Grab some popcorn and some snacks. Get comfortable and relax. And do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It is free. It won't cost you anything. And please hit the bell. With that said, now on with tonight's tales. Drip, drop, drip, drop. The leaky pipe keeps going non-stop. Drip, drop, drip, drop. Now the pipes are shaking and sounds like knocks. This is driving me crazy, this excessive water leak. This is making me weary, where I can't sleep. It's like the dripping sounds are loud, constantly drumming in my head. To the point where I'm tossing, turning, and rolling around in my bed. I just need some quiet to rest and some peace. But no matter what I do, it seems the volume persists and increase. So I get up from bed to see if I could turn it off. But unfortunately, that is just a passing thought. It stops long enough for me to get back in bed and close my eyes. To think that the war is over, I won. But nope. That was a joke. I found my battle had just begun. So still, I hear drip, drop, and the ticking of my clock. Telling me now it's 2 a.m., and there is only so much that I can stand. I have so much to do in the morning. But this damn leak is making so much noise. It might as well be storming. I feel like I am having the urge to commit violence and to hurt. Just to shut off this rushing wall of water. I need to get a plumber in here to help me repair, or I swear there will be a murder. So, I go to the internet to see if someone can fix my predicament. But no one can come by this late at night, and I can't wait. I need out of this torment. It is now 3 a.m., and I am at my wit's end. And I am ready to pull my hair out by its roots. With the tsunami going on in my bathroom. My stress levels are at a new high. And I feel pressure building behind my eyes. This dripping is making me insane. To where I'm having chest pains. I only have a few hours left before I need to get up and get dressed. And the dripping has me at my breaking point. Right about now, wish I had a joint. But I came up with this half-baked ideal. That I will pierce the inside of my ears. Then that way, I will no longer hear the dripping. I know this sounds severe, but you won't understand unless you are here. So I grab something sharp and put it deep in my ear till I feel a pop. Now everything is stopped. I'm going to bed. No more drip drop.
I'm not really all that bad. Just because I like to hack and slash, and protect my identity with masks. Deep down inside, I'm a good guy. But people take one look at me and run away screaming, I don't want to know! I try to tell them to wait, don't be afraid. You don't have to run and hide. You just wanted to come by and say hi. But they always think I'm trying to take their lives. I know my body mass is intimidating. I'm 6 feet, 5 inches tall. My shoulders are broad and I'm muscular. But you don't have to profile me. This is just plain rude and discriminating. I hate that people judge me as soon as they see me, assuming I just want to hook them and string them up like a piece of meat. Don't you know not to judge a book by its cover? Take the time to get to know me. There is a lot to discover. I even like going to the museum and admiring works of art. You and I could be best friends. Us together to the very end. I'm nothing like Jason, Michael Myers, or Freddy Krueger. Just give me a chance to prove myself to you. So, what do you say? Can we be best buds? Come on. Bring it in. Oh no. Oops. Looks like I did it again. I squeezed you tight until you couldn't breathe. Oh, that was my bad. But this always seems to happen every time I try. You really shouldn't be so surprised. But believe me when I tell you, I'm a nice guy.
This is a poem of the bad things that happened all in one day to me. All because I didn't follow directions, didn't take an email seriously. I was checking my email and a message popped up that said, "Congratulations, you're a winner, more to come inside." It read, "This is a chain email and you need to pass this message on to 10 people. Because if you don't, then you will die. Sorry to inform you, you have been cursed. Make sure you follow the directions or you'll make it worse." I thought to myself, a chain email? Who sent this shit to me? I don't believe in shit like this, so I hit delete. I went on with my day, putting the email out of my mind. But little did I know, this would start a chain of events that is hard to believe and describe. My bad luck started the very next day when I went out to grab something to eat. I was walking in my car when a tree limb falls and almost crushed me. Good thing I was quick. I leaped back in time, but I busted up my knee. I looked down at my leg and I could see the bone. I was badly bleeding. So I lifted myself up to hobble back inside my house. But once I got to the door, I couldn't find my keys. I was locked out. So I decided to break a window to let myself in. But when I broke the glass, part of it slashed my wrist. Like I had tried to commit suicide. My wrist was bleeding profusely. I was in a state of panic. If I didn't get help soon, this was going to end up with me on the news. This would be just tragic. Somehow I made it inside my home. Now all I needed was to get to my phone. All I needed to do was call 911 before I pass out, or I would be done. But when I picked up my phone, I couldn't hear anything, no tone. There was a very low humming sound coming across the line. It sounded like static, but then it hit me. It was electricity. But I didn't remove the phone from my head in time. I let the phone linger too long next to my ear. A bolt of electricity zapped me, and now I cannot hear. What would be the statistics of having such bad luck all in one day? It had to be 1,000,000,000 to 1. It's impossible, most people would say. Then it dawned on me that I needed to retrieve the source of all my trouble. And I had to do it fast, and right now on the double. The message read for me to pass this on to 10 people. And I'm sorry to do this, and maybe this seems evil. This is where you all come in. The ones watching this video and listening to this poem. The directions are simple. You must like, comment, and subscribe. And then pass this message on. But if you don't, then you'll be cursed. So you have been warned. And oh, by the way, you need to hit the bell. Besides, it will save your life and keep you from going through all this hell. I'm so hungry. I can't seem to get enough to eat. My stomach feels empty. I just want to feast. I am starving. It feels like I haven't eaten in years. My stomach feels tight, and my hunger pain is severe. I could eat everything in my eyesight right now, even a cow. I just need to open my mouth and swallow the whole thing down. I'm so ravenous, I could eat a mouse, cat, dog, and a horse. Everything I see is looking so damn delicious to me. But I recognize this is ridiculous, of course. The mere thought of meat is making me salivate, to the point where I'm not thinking straight. The cravings bring me to my knees. I just can't get food off my mind. I need to take a moment to breathe. But this hunger is starting to drive me wild. I'm going crazy. It's got me riled. I'm so famished. There is so much that I could consume. I'm so hungry. I'm starting to drool. The hunger now seems to be changing my needs. From wanting animal meat, now for the taste of a human being. I need to eat something soon. I mean right now. I could start off maybe with a small child. As long as I can sink my teeth into some fresh meat. I just need one bite that will help my hunger and carve my appetite. These hunger pains have my stomach tied up in knots. And I have to say, you look so good. I'm licking my chops. Why don't you invite me over for dinner? Promise I won't be late. Just make sure you have a really, really big plate. There's a little boy that likes to lie. He could look you straight into your eyes. He likes to make up all kinds of stories, just for the attention, fame, and glory. He would tell his lies to anyone that was near, anyone that could listen, that have ears. One day, he told the biggest lie that he could tell. He thought to himself, "This can't fail." He lied on the sweetest, kindest old lady around. She was like everyone's grandma in our town. He said,
"I saw her one day late at night, when the moon was out and shining bright. The old kind lady would walk. Looking in children's windows, she would stalk. She was looking for a child that she could grab, that was small enough to fit in her bag. Then she would take them back to her home, where she would skin them and remove their bones. She would drain them of all their blood, and she would eat their heart. This is the truth, I swear to our Lord above.
Some people didn't want to believe his story because it was just too gory. But some of the people did, and they wanted to see the old lady dead. They recall a few kids were missing, and this was the answer to their disappearing. So they went to the little old lady's house to find evidence and to force her to come out. They kicked in her door and knocked her down on the floor. She ended up hitting her head. They beat her and left her for dead. They didn't find anything as proof. Nothing, at least, that they could use. That's when they realized the little boy had told a big, fat lie. And they fell into his trap and committed a crime. So now they want revenge. They want to bring all his lies to an end. They came up with a plot to make sure that he would stop. They told him that the old lady was over and done, and she won't be able to cause any more hurt to anyone. When the little boy went to say something and open his mouth, they grabbed him, held him down, and pulled out his tongue, then cut it out. Now no one in our town ever tells lies. Unless they want their tongue cut out. They should think twice if they are wise. My granny tried to bake me into a pie. She invited me over to her house to help her bake, but that was partly a lie. When I arrived at her home, she rushed me into the kitchen. She said, "Let's get started. This will be the best pie ever. It will be delicious and packed full of nutrition." She told me to fetch her some flour out of the pantry. But when I returned to give the flour to her, she spilled most of it on me. I told her, "I'm going to the bathroom to clean myself up." She said, "We have no time. Now give me that measuring cup." I turned my back for a second to pick up the cup and to pass it to her. But when I turned around, she had a big knife in her hand, and I believed her intention was murder. She asked me, "Why are you looking at me like that? This knife is for the pie." She placed the knife down on the countertop. Then she said, "Bring me that cup, child. Stop wasting time." I thought to myself, something didn't feel right here in this situation. But I shook the feelings off and continued with the preparations. We kneaded the dough, made the pie crust. Then she cut up the apples and put them in a pot to boil to soften them up. She made a sweet syrup to drizzle over the pie. It smelled so good. It brought a tear to my eye. Then I realized a lot of the ingredients were all over me. My granny told me, "You look so sweet. In fact, you look good enough to eat." She said, "Why don't you take the pie over to the oven and set the temperature to 300 degrees and leave some room for another?" The oven looked like a dungeon. My granny's oven was really big. It was so big, it was big enough to fit a whole kid. So I took the pie over to place it in the oven. When all of a sudden, I could hear my granny walking briskly to give me a shove. That's when I noticed she had no oven gloves on. But I heard her coming, so I moved out of the way fast. She fell into the oven and the door slammed shut and latched. She screamed and hollered, "Let me out!" She cursed, hit, kicked, and shouted. But I couldn't let her out. I didn't have the key to the latch. And the oven had heated up in no time flat. Now I know the secret to her award-winning pies. She would cook children, and then she would bake them into her pie. Now that was a surprise. My granny seemed like a sweet and kind old lady that wouldn't hurt a fly. But we all have a side to us that we don't want to show others. And this dark secret cost her. I had no idea my granny was a monster. We found out that she had been taking kids for years, and this is what happened to most of the kids around our town that had disappeared. She was taking kids to her home to have them help her bake. Then she would have them place the pie in the oven, and then she would shove them in and latch the door so they couldn't escape. She met her end the same as those kids. But like the saying goes, karma is a bitch. I keep having a reoccurring nightmare of me falling from the sky. It keeps happening to me, night after night, time after time. Where I'm falling from, I'm not quite sure. And when I wake up, I'm in my bed, safe and secure. I really don't want to close my eyes. Every time I do, I only see the dark skies. So here in my bed I lay, with my eyes open wide. Without any sleep, I feel tired. But sleep wants to take me over. I can feel myself falling back to sleep. And again, I'm falling from the sky. Falling faster and faster, getting closer to the earth, knowing I'm about to die. Wishing I could sprout wings so I could float down safely. But this never happens, and now I'm waking up as I'm getting closer to the ground lately. But I jump up from my dream before I hit the ground, as I snap back to reality, as I look around. So now, I'm sitting up drinking coffee and watching TV, because I'm afraid to go back to sleep. I know next time what is going to happen to me. This may be the last day of my life. Because next time, when I close my eyes, I will continue to fall from the sky. But this time, I won't wake up in time before I hit the ground and die. We all have a dark side to our personality. Another side to us that no one ever sees. We all have crazy, dark thoughts that come across our mind. It happens to the best of us from time to time. Like, have you ever had an urge to trip a kid for fun, then laugh at them as you turn and run? Or you may think about pushing an old lady down the stairs. When no one is looking, and you just watch her asking for help as she just lays there. Maybe when you are sitting in your car at a red light, and a person is in front of you and they are riding on a bike, you may wonder, what would it be like if you would drive up close on them just to give them a scare? But of course, these are things that you won't do. You won't even dare. Your mind likes to run scenarios of different possibilities. But you keep everything in check with your morality. So, it doesn't make you a bad person as long as you don't act on these fantasies. As long as they don't become a part of your reality. So you can think about burning down your enemy's home. Just so long as you think about it. Then, that is not wrong. I know that it might sound weird, that it's okay to think about these things, but if you don't, you would probably go insane. Besides, don't worry, you're a nice guy. You should never let out your dark side. So it's okay if these things you think are dark in nature. This is not a sin. Don't take it seriously and major. You're only human after all. It's just part of you. Because these are things that you would never, ever do.
I am prima ballerina, and I dance for one of the most prestigious ballet companies in the world. So, dancing comes as a second nature to me. I have been dancing since I was a little girl. I worked hard for years on my craft to be the very best, doing everything and anything to stand out from the rest. This is my dream, my destiny to be recognized for my talent. And now that I am here, I won't give this up without a fight. I must maintain this balance. I know everyone is gunning for my spot, to knock me off so they can be on the top. And that is why I never let down my guard. This is not a luxury I can afford. I even have rituals. I follow the day of all my performances. I never miss a detail. This is the most important. And one thing is a must that I constantly do. It is to dance in my favorite pair of ballet shoes. I have had these slippers for a very long time. And if I misplaced them or would lose them, I would just die. They are worn, beat up, and maybe I should buy a new pair. But I cannot part from them. They are an extension of me. I can't. No, I won't. The thought is too much to bear. They were given to me from my late departed grandmother on my 18th birthday as a gift. And from that day, I vowed from them I would never ever split. Besides, they have gotten me to where I am now. Through it all, they never let me down. They just keep going, doing what they do. With all these spins on my tiptoes, to the ellipse through the air as I perform at my shows. No one knows how much I love them so. But one day after a show, I left them in the dressing room. When I realized my mistake and went back to retrieve them, there was another dancer wearing them. I started to fume. I walked up to her and told her those were my ballet slippers. She smiled and said to me, "Now they are mine, finders keepers." I told her she needed to take them off now or she would be sure. She turned and just walked away, totally ignoring me like I was trying to crash her party. I was so mad. All I could see was the color red. And the hatred I felt inside of me. I really wanted to see her dead. I ran after her, grabbed her by the hair, and threw her down on the floor. She fell so hard she hit her head and didn't move anymore. She was knocked unconscious. She was completely out. I said to her, "That's what you get for stealing my slipper, you bitch. You should have heeded my words without a doubt." I looked to see if someone was around. It was just me, her, and no one else was found. I closed and locked the door to the dressing room to be away from prying eyes. I didn't want anyone to see. I want to take my time. I had this sharp knife I carried with me for my protection. I took it out and and used it without any apprehension. I stood there as the blood pooled surrounding her. After that, my memory getting a little bit foggy. But I do remember taking my ballet slippers off her feet and placing them back safely in my bag and taking them with me. I heard she was found with 50 stab wounds. Well, that's what she gets for treating me mean and rude. Because when you're a prima ballerina for a prestigious ballet company, you have paid your dues. And no other bitch has the right to dance in your shoes.
So, you're still here, and you made it to the end. I'm glad that you have no fear, and we did not get under your skin. I hope you enjoyed all our stories, and they will not keep you up tonight. And there is nothing lurking for you in the dark, and that you can close your eyes and sleep tight. Thank you for listening to all our creepy rhymes. We hope to see you again. Until next time.